All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a detailed body video on this 1970 Chevelle. This is a gorgeous resto mod. It's got a very well built LSA engine in there. It's out of a ZL1 Camaro, and the car was built to perform, drive, and have fun. I mean, it's definitely a car that you can show off. It's definitely going to turn heads driving down the street, but up close and personal, you will notice some small little paint chips, flaws, and that's exactly what we're gonna do in this video. Is we're gonna go over and address all of these little flaws, show off some body lines, gaps, anything like that. And we're gonna start right here with the hood. As you see, the paint was laid down very well on this car. I would call this definitely a step above driver quality. I mean, it's nice enough where you're gonna wanna take care of it and worry about it. But then again, you can rip around with this car, guilt-free and worry-free, and not worry about too much of a little rock chip or anything like that. All the bright work on the car is in excellent shape. As you see, we're going over the front chrome bumper here. It's in amazing shape. We're gonna make our way down this passenger body line. Now, on these Chevelles, there's a belt line that goes all the way through the car, and as I go up and down, you can kind of see it. So this car doesn't really have any flat panels to it, but we're gonna go through, point out any paint flaws, any defects. You can see a little bit of orange peel in this area, but quite honestly, all these things that I'm gonna point out, I believe that a very good detailer would not have any issue taking care of, any of the minor issues. We do have a paint chip right there in the front fender. Body lines on the passenger door look really nice as well. We're also going to take a step back and look at the gap. So there's no draping on this end of the door over here. As you can see, it looks really nice and straight along where it meets the rear quarter panel as well. You can kind of get an idea of the body panels if you just focus on the reflections and the paint. It's got a really nice belt line here. Paint reflects really nice. Roof looks great as well. Let's move to the trunk. One nice thing about this restoration is that these factory drip rails weren't covered up. So you still see that they're exposed on both sides. And there you have trunk fitment. It's fits very well all around. And we also have to remember that quality control didn't really take effect until you started getting your personal luxury cars and things like that of the mid-70s. So even these cars out of the box, that's why these bumpers, they never fit perfect, and people will tuck the bumpers and do things like that when they're fabbing or restoring these cars, just because they never came out 100% out of the factory. But this is a really nice example of a very well restored car. We have some paint flaws here. Let me try to catch them from another angle. Looks like a chip that may have, see if I can get this to focus a little bit better. And that's on the rear quarter panel. And I'm standing about 3 feet from it. It's really not noticeable. But with it being your car, you will notice all these things. Wheels and tires, these US mags have Less than 100 miles on them. No curb rash, of course, on any of the wheels. Then we'll go around this rear quarter panel. We'll go down this line. And I do see a small high point right here. If you could catch it in the video, it's really hard to see, but there's a small little high point. Looks like maybe something may have been in the trunk and put a very small dent in that rear quarter panel. Well, that's something that a PDR guy can definitely get rid of. Door fits very well on this side as well. And on the roof here, I noticed like a little bit of light. I don't know if you can see them. A little bit of surface scratches, look like maybe from a dirty rag or something that may have been used. We also have a small little blemish right here. So if you can pick that up on camera. Again, these are all very, very minor things, but we do know that sometimes you're not down the street to look at these cars, so we try to be as descriptive as possible. Overall, like I said, this is definitely a beautiful car overall. What we call a value adder. I mean, if you're gonna put, you know, rear disc brakes, vintage AC, and a show quality paint job, we definitely see these resto mods go for well into the 6 figures. So that's another thing to keep in mind, that, you know, with this being the holy grail of muscle cars, really anything you do with this car is going to add value. If you need any additional information, you can always give us a call, 248-721-4343. You can see a few imperfections there, and like I said, I think almost all of this a very good detailer PDR guy can knock this out of the park.